Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey, what's going on, fans? What's going on today? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're being safe out there, man. There's some serious weather happening, so be very careful. We've been talking with Julia Wojdacz all week. That's right. This is episode 3, part 3, if you will. And we're going to be talking to her about trucking and the headlines. Now, you know Julia. She's been around. She's been a veteran driver for over 36 years. You probably actually waved at her as you went by on the roads there. But she's been in the industry for over 36 years. She is really big on helping women be successful. She's kind of old school trucking, which I think is very cool. Her podcast is extremely successful, and she's got lots of listeners. So it was fun to talk to her about one truck to another. If you missed the episodes, part 1, we were talking to her about her life behind the wheel and what she did. Then we went to episode 2. We talked about how she transitioned from behind the wheel to behind the mic and doing the podcast. And her podcast is focused on the headlines, the trucking news in U.S. and Canada. And she's talking about some serious stuff. It's not just talking about, there's a lot of good stuff there, especially if you're someone who drives across North America. I did that for 10 years, and man, there's always news. People go, what do you talk about on a trucking podcast? I'm sure Julia can relate. We talk about, there's always something. There's nothing. I've never seen like just the industry dead where there's nothing to talk about. I'm sure Julia's felt the same. We've been podcasting about the same time. So we're going to talk about what she's hearing in the headlines. She talks a lot more about the U.S. stuff than I do here. We're focused business and careers, as you know. Before we get to that, though, let me tell you a little bit about Bison Transport. That's right. They've got opportunities for you as an owner-operator. And you know what? In today's world, the more you can keep in your pocket, the better it's going to be. And that's why having a program where you can save money on fuel, having a program maintenance, parts, a support staff. You ever have problems? When you're an independent owner-operator, man, you got to fix it yourself. You got to think about how to get out of this situation or what to do about the paperwork or whatever it is yourself. But man, isn't it nice to have someone you can call and say, hey, here's the issue we're having at the border. How do we solve this? What do we need to do? You know what? Life is challenging in trucking. Trucking is challenging enough just being in driving. Anyway, check out bisondriving.com if you want to see what current opportunities. They recruit a little differently over at Bison. They kind of go by lanes. So like lanes come up and you bid on that kind of job. It's not so much an open board like it is in a lot of companies. Check it out, bisondriving.com. They've got actually some positions non-driving as well, so you might want to check that out as well. All right, let's get into our episode with Julia and find out exactly what's going on in the industry. There is so much. We're going to have a good conversation. I know you do not want to miss it. All right, my friends, let's get going. Here we go.
Be sure to share the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Events, that's mostly weekend stuff. So between that and the podcast, I've been doing that. When you started your podcast back 2018, I think it was, right? When you started? And I started 2016. We were just like neck and neck in this whole thing. But I still remember. So 2018. So did you know that's what you were going to do? Because you're still driving after that, right? So
during it,
yeah. So what was it? Thinking, okay, was that your plan for later on? To this is going to be my thing I do afterwards, or was it just kind of like you were saying to kind of teach people and let people know what they need to do properly?
So about 10 years before, since about 2008, I was trying to figure out how can I reach the younger generation of drivers out here. Do I go to the driving schools around the country, do a presentation of what they should do and shouldn't do and this kind of thing? And I couldn't figure out exactly how to get to the broader audience of the new truck drivers out here. So a friend of mine had a weekly podcast for entrepreneurs, and then that kind of clicked, and I'm like, okay, I could talk about that. So I started out with interviewing some other drivers that I knew, but then I couldn't get any interviews scheduled. You know yourself, it's always hard to get somebody to do what you want them to do at a certain point in time. So then it just morphed into talking about the news. I tried Rookie Roundtable. I've tried a whole bunch of different things to grow my audience. So I have the audio podcast side, which is on any podcast format that you listen to podcast at, Spotify, Pandora, all of them, and also have the YouTube channel as well. So I'm doing both.
For you, good for you. I was listening to you on Apple. I'm my podcast is while I'm at the gym or going for a walk, so that's my podcast time. So I was listening to you on the podcast. So I have to go and check out your YouTube channel. I have it. I knew you were saying about slides during the podcast, so I knew you were showing people something. I wasn't looking, no. So let's talk about that. Now, I know you also do a lot of work with human trafficking. We do here as well. We're really big. We work with TAT in the States. We also work with No Human Trafficking, which is a Canadian, Ontario one here with Shelley with the Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. So tell us, you've been talking about the headlines, how you're not doing that, and just wanted to show. I can barely watch the news. I just I'm done now. So, but talking about that and talking about human trafficking, how do you keep yourself from getting depressed? I guess, or crazy. Nothing's good these days.
About 2 years ago, I had to take a year off because it was affecting me mentally so bad. And not only just the human trafficking, but all the substances that are coming in across the border, and besides the stupid stuff that people do, it was like, what is going on in this country? So instead of just talking about the news and not letting it affect you and have to have like this wall up, I really let it get to me. And yeah, I had to take a year off from it. I had to just not do anything. And I didn't lose my audience. That was real unusual for me, because if you're not going to be putting out a show in YouTube, yourself, you and I have about the same kind of audience and about the same size. It's really hard because everybody that has a camera phone has a channel on YouTube. Now the audio side, everybody likes listening to it when they're driving down the highway. So that is a lot more popular, the audio side, for me than YouTube. I also am on BitChute as well, is another video side besides YouTube. You may want to check going into that, getting a channel on that. But
it's funny you say that, because that's how I got started too. It was around the same time, actually, 2009, 2010. I was kind of getting into the speaking area, and I was working with a lot of the training schools here in our local area, and started going around doing presentations, and I started doing some training. And back then, video training was really big, and I'm thinking, I'm going to start a video thing is where I was going to go, because I got all this knowledge. I want to share it, and if I can help them and help me at the same time, then great. And then I found out about podcasts. I didn't know anything about podcasts, and I said, well, that makes sense, because drivers shouldn't be listening to watching videos while they're going down the road. So I didn't know audio podcasts were even a thing, and here we are 10 years later. We're still doing it, and we got over 1,500 episodes, so still cranking them out. Before we go, Julia, because I don't have much time, let us know what you give us a final tip that you think drivers would be helpful, and then let everybody know where they can go and follow you and find you and all those kind of things.
Always look out your left mirror for people. It is not a bad thing if somebody flashes you your lights. How can I say it? The idea is now, I have 10 meters. I could see when I missed you. It's a courtesy. It's okay. And flash their four ways or clearance lights as a thank you. For cars that telling you that you missed them and this kind of thing. Always use your four ways when you're backing up as well. And just stay safe on the road. And if it's snowing out, and don't go try to bypass the chain laws out west. If it's snowing out or raining too hard, just park it. No load is worth your life.
That's right. That's right. Good advice. Good advice. You want to share anything on the human trafficking front? I know you share a lot of that information, and we do here as well. Anything that you maybe just give us a quick tip or something?
If you see something, say something. There are research some signs. There is an organization that they have certain signs that children can use if they're in distress. You may know about them. I escapes me right now. But if you always, if it's an old man with a little bitty kid or something like that, and they look scared, say something.
Yep. Yeah. It's important. You know, I'm thinking of all of the, you know, the girls of the night, ladies of the night, like you were talking about earlier, that I've seen in my career. I could tell you truck stop names that they were worse at than others. And it was just frustrating. You couldn't get a good night's sleep. I saw just every 2 minutes, there's a knock on the door. And, you know, I didn't even realize until I had seen some training later on of what that was all about. I mean, how many of us probably missed signs just thinking it was somebody kind of doing whatever. So
it wasn't them working for themselves. They had a PIMP out in a car at a different parking lot, and they were watching. They were trafficked.
Yeah, we didn't think. So where should people follow you again, real quick?
So on Spotify, Spreaker, Audible, Audacity, it's Julia's Truck and Cafe. And on YouTube, it's Julia's Truck and Cafe Truck and News Hour.
I bet you your merch is a coffee cup. If it's not, you really are losing out, because really that's your
It is, and a beanie for winter time, and t-shirts. My favorite one is slow the F down, and all sorts of symbols and stuff for the F word. Yeah,
that's awesome. Julia, thank you very much for your time today. It was a pleasure talking with you. I'm glad we connected. I'll be following on a lot of those places as well. So keep up the good work, because I think women in the industry, that's something we need to keep showing people. Keep doing the headlines. I don't know how you do this. I'm business and careers. That's why I'm not doing headlines. You know, we try to do it with what's going on today, but I certainly couldn't do headlines every day. That's not a show for me. But glad it's a show for you. All the best for 2026. I hope it goes really well for you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Wow, wasn't that a good interview with Julia? Lots to talk about there. If you want to follow the headlines, you need to follow her podcast, Julia's Trucking Cafe. Hey, before we get into it, though, I know it is tax time right now. And if you are looking for someone to do your taxes that understands the trucking industry, then RS2000 Tax Services is where you need to go. They operate out of Ontario, Canada. They come to you. You don't have to go to them. And I know that you're going to get, we use them ourselves, so you're going to get the proper information of what you need. So check out rs2000tax.com. Tell them we sent you. And also, drug and alcohol testing is a big deal nowadays. The rules keep changing. You need to be up to date on what's happening. There's the clearinghouse in the States. There's random testing here. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You need to be up to date. And the drugs and alcohol that are included in a lot of these tests keep changing as well. So if you want to make sure you're getting the right information from the right people to keep your workplace safe, DriverCheck is where you need to go. Go to drivercheck.ca. They've got resources there that you can check out. They've got their Fitness for Duty Summit, which happens in October every year. And I know you're going to get the proper information. They've got all locations. If you need to stop and get drug and alcohol testing done, they can help you there. So go to drivercheck.ca to check all of that out. All right, so make sure you're checking out Julia's Trucking Cafe. You can go to juliastruckingcafe.com to go to all of her stuff. You can also find her on YouTube at Julia's Trucking Cafe, and I found her podcast on your popular podcast platform. All right, my friends, we will talk to you later. Enjoy, be good out there. Hey, join us for our radio show Monday nights at 7 o'clock, Chords and Chrome. That's more entertainment, more to do with music and trucking and feature trucks and all that kind of stuff, but it's a fun show. Join us 7 o'clock Monday nights Eastern, and you can find us on YouTube or our leadpedalradio.com Mixcloud account. All right, my friends, we'll talk to you later. But get out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe, and we will talk to you next time.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.